The mountain breathes ice. Its exhalations scour the rock, polishing it to a black gloss. This is the heart of the glacial period, a world of stark, killing beauty. 5 figures move across this landscape, a small hunting party of Homo sapiens. Their forms lean and dark against the endless white. They are a family, a father, his 2 sons, a brother, a nephew, bound by the intricate kinship that is their greatest tool for survival. For 3 days, they have tracked a herd of Argyli sheep. Their hunger a cold, hard knot in their bellies. The hunters draw them further into the Altai than their memory maps extend, into a silent, wind-carved territory that feels ancient and untouchable. This deep push into the unknown is a desperate gamble, a necessary risk in the unforgiving arithmetic of prehistoric life. They find the valley by accident. A narrow fissure in the rock, missed by the roaring wind, leads them downwards into a place of shocking stillness. Stunted junipers cling to the slopes, and the air is thick with the scent of pine and damp earth. More importantly, the tracks of the sheep are clear and fresh, a collective sigh of relief. Visible as plumes of steam, passes between the men. They move with the fluid silence of practiced predators. Their senses are alive, but something is wrong. The lead hunter, Kale, raises a hand. The party freezes, melting into the shadows of the rock. He points not at the sheep tracks, but beside them, in a patch of partially frozen mud, is a single footprint. It is massive, unmistakably human in shape, but broader and longer than any foot Kale has ever seen. The impression driven deep into the ground as if by an immense weight. The discovery drains the hope from the valley. A primal fear, cold and sharp, replaces it. They are not the first hunters here. As they press on, their caution now bordering on paranoia, they find more signs. On a sheltered ledge overlooking a game trail, the ground is littered with the debris of tool making, a dense lithic scatter of Josprin chert flakes, but the craftsmanship is unsettlingly alien. These are not the elegant, long blades their own people favor. These are heavy, powerful tools, massive hand axes, thick-bladed cleavers, and scrapers that would be clumsy in their own hands. The skill is undeniable. The edges are brutally sharp, but they were shaped by a different mind, for a different kind of hand. This is a stark lesson from hominid history. They are not the only thinking beings in this world. This is not just a rival tribe. This is another kind of early humans. The evidence points to a people of formidable strength, a group whose survival skills are tuned to a different, more powerful key. The valley is no longer a sanctuary. It is an arena, and they have just walked into the territory of an unknown contender. They find their perch an hour later, a high fissure in the rock, barely wide enough for a man to squeeze through, opens onto a ledge screened by a curtain of fossilized ivy. From here, they can see, below them, nestled in a wide bend of the valley, is the cave. It is less a cave and more a small city of rock and fire. A plume of smoke, rich with the smell of roasting meat, rises steadily into the frigid air. The scent is a form of torture for the starving sapiens hunters. And then they see them, the people of the cave. The archaic humans who left the giant tracks. They are a clan of maybe 20. Their bodies powerfully built, thick-limbed and barrel-chested. Wrapped in heavy, and hides. For hours, the sapiens watch, silent as the stone they lie upon. This is a scene from the deep, tangled history of human evolution. Two distinct intelligent peoples observing each other across a chasm of mutual ignorance. They watch a young male use a heavy stone hammer to flake a massive spear point from a core of black obsidian. His blows are incredibly powerful, yet precise. It is a display of primitive technology that is both crude and sophisticated, a different solution to the universal problem of survival. They watch a female scrape a ox hide with a tool that looks more like a club than a scraper. Her movements economical and brutally effective. Children, small, surly, bend loud, tumble and play near the fire, watched over by an old male who sits slightly apart. It is this old one who holds Kale's gaze. He is not making tools or processing food. He holds a long, thick bone, the femur of some great beast, and a shard of flint. With immense patience, he is carving, notches and lines, deep and deliberate, form strange, swirling patterns on the bone's surface. It is not for a tool. The purpose is abstract, symbolic. Kel feels a cold dread that has nothing to do with the freezing wind. These are not simple, strong beasts. They create symbolic artifacts. They have art, or ritual, or stories. They have minds as complex as his own. This is the moment of terrifying realization. The beings below are not just competition for food. They are intellectual equals, clad in bodies of superior strength. For any student of anthropology, this would be a monumental discovery. For Kale, it is a death sentence. The moment shatters with the clatter of a single, dislodged stone. Kale's nephew, shifting his weight, has sent a piece of screed tumbling down the rock face. It is not loud, but in the valley's stillness, it is a thunderclap. Down below, every head snaps up, the carving stops, the children fall silent. The young male with the obsidian spear point rises slowly to his full, formidable height. But it is the old one whose eyes find their hiding place first. He looks directly at the fissure, his gaze piercing the shadows. There is no shock in his eyes, no fear, only a flat, cold, and impossibly ancient knowing. He has seen them. The sapiens are no longer observers, they are prey. To watch with us is to add another stone to the cairn of memory. There is no thought. There is only the cold, electric shock of being seen. Kale and his family are pinned by the old Denisovian-esque gaze, transfixed like deer caught in a predator's stare. The immense valley, the sky, the wind, it all vanishes, collapsing into the terrifyingly short distance between the two minds. The young Denisovan male, the one with the obsidian spear, takes a half step forward, his knuckles white around the shaft of his weapon. A low growl rumbles in his chest, a sound of pure territorial aggression. For the sapiens, squeezed into their rocky crevice, the air becomes thick and unbraceable. This is the sharp edge of resource competition, where the prize is not just a carcass, but the right to exist in this place. But the old one does not move. He simply raises a hand, a gesture of calm authority that stops the younger male in his tracks. The display of social hierarchy is as clear as any spoken command. Then, with a chillingly deliberate motion, the old Denisovan turns and picks up a large, river-smoothed boulder from the edge of his fire pit. It is a stone Kale knows he and his brother could barely roll together. The Denisovan holds it in one hand for a moment, then, with a grunt of casual effort, heaves it 20 feet, where it shatters against the cliffside with a sound like cracking thunder. The message is absolute, delivered with terrifying clarity and no violence. This is our strength. This is our home. You are nothing. Wisdom, in this world, is the simple ability to recognize a superior force. Kale's might, a product of emergent behavioral modernity, races. He sees the future in a flash. The charge, the brutal, short fight, the broken bodies of his sons and brothers staining the snow. He sees the end of his line. The hunger in his belly is a fire, but the instinct to protect his kind is a star, ancient and immovable. This is the leader's hard choice. A moment of altruism that defines a people. He sacrifices the hunt, the valley, his pride, all of it, for the simple, priceless commodity of a future sunrise. He makes a slow, backward motion with his hand. Retreat. They move like smoke, one by one. They slide back from the fissure. Their movements fluid and desperate. They do not dare to make a sound, convinced that the hulking figures below can hear the frantic beating of their hearts. The retreat up the valley is a long, agonizing ordeal, a flight from a ghost that is all too real. They do not look back. They carry no meat, only a new and heavy knowledge. The world is larger and more complex than their stories had ever told. It contains not just beasts and spirits, but other men, cast in a different mold. They are human ancestors, but they are not their kin. As they finally crest the ridge and the biting wind of the high peaks returns, Kale knows they have survived. They have learned a lesson that will be carved into the memory of his people. Not all territories are worth fighting for, and the greatest display of strength is sometimes the wisdom to walk away. The encounter in the Altai Valley leaves no mark in the stone, no fossil for the distant field of paleontology to uncover. It is a ghost story, a moment of profound contact written only in the memory of a handful of sapiens who carried it away with them. But this unrecorded event is a key to understanding our own improbable journey. For millennia, our species shared this planet with other human forms. Our histories intersecting in countless forgotten valleys and caves. Our survival was not a foregone conclusion. It was a product of a million brutal calculations and hard-won choices. The story of human evolution is not just a tale of superior tools and clever hunting. It is a story of social intelligence, of knowing when to fight, when to trade, and when to flee. That decision in the mountain, to value kinship over territory, to choose foresight over immediate gain, was not an act of cowardice. It was an act of genius, a spark of the strategic thinking that would eventually allow one kind of human to inherit the earth. We are the descendants of those who knew which battles not to fight. How many ghosts of other humanities linger in the bedrock of our own instincts, their memory shaping the unspoken rules of our own complex societies. I am the chronicler. I listen for the echoes in the silence, to understand the words we speak today. But wisdom learned in the cold mountains would be tested by a new walk spreading across the great plains.